How we doing? As you're just joining right now, please, if you can, mute yourself. That would be amazing, so we can mitigate any background noise as we're presenting here. We're going to give it like a minute or two, and then we're going to get going. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. But while I'm doing that, if you guys could go ahead and mute yourself, that would be amazing. So those that are speaking can be heard. So yeah, all right. Where's the presentation? All right. Can I get Coach Garrett? Can you tell me that you can see the screen right now? Just a nice verbal confirmation would be awesome.
Oh, yes, can confirm.
Amazing. Thank you. What's up, brother? All right. So as you can see here on this screen, this is the SETGK and the Starting 11 Cutbacks webinar, pre-clinic webinar before we get on field on Sunday together. Also, as you can see at the bottom right now, if you don't already have one, I would love it if you could go grab a notebook and a pen so that you're ready to take notes throughout this webinar. So if you don't already have one, go grab a notebook, go grab a pen so you can make sure that you take as much information out of this as possible. I'm going to go accept some more people and admit some more. And then we're going to start once everybody's back with a notebook and a pen. All right, I'm going to have to jump in. Yeah, okay. Anybody who's jumping on, if you can mute yourself, that'd be amazing. What's up, Coach Lou? Brother. So as you're jumping on, if you guys can mute yourself, if you're just joining us, please go grab a notebook and a pen. I am going to be having to jump back and forth if we do have any late people joining, just make sure that we get everybody in. There is a certain point where I will stop allowing people in because, you know, too late. and we'll go from there. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now, and then we will get into this webinar. Okay. So if you don't already have a notebook, please grab a notebook and a pen, and then write down real quick, SETGK, Starting 11, Cutbacks webinar, so we can learn and take as much as possible out of this next 30 to 45 minutes. All right. So the next thing I want you guys to do is go ahead in the chat and type your name so we can take some attendance, see who's here so we know who has attended. Maybe you'll get some brownie points from that. And then also if you could type in your club in the chat. So like wherever you're playing soccer currently, whatever team you're playing for, add that too. So type your name and your club in the chat. And then once you have that typed, just go ahead and send that message, and then we will take a look and we'll go from there, take some attendance. One of the reasons why I love having people type in their club in the chat is because Starting 11 and SETGK, we are club neutral. Okay, so there is a blend of many different clubs, as you guys can see on, you know, the advertisements, on the marketing material, on the website. You guys can see that we are club neutral, right? So when we come to the clinic on Sunday, it's really important that we put those to the side for the time being, and for the length of the clinic that we are engaged in just trying to get better as a goalkeeper, trying to support the goalkeeper community, and be there together as one goalkeeper union, and just kind of blur the lines of some clubs and just be totally neutral and be there to learn and grow together throughout the clinic. Okay, so who am I? Probably should have maybe started there, but my name is Eric Klonowski. So I'm the co-owner and co-founder of SETGK. I was jogging around a field at Toronto FC back in the day, and I called one of my best friends after training and I said, you know what, I want to make the most interconnected goalkeeper glove brand in the world, and here's what I'm thinking. And, you know, we've been on an awesome journey over the last 5 or 6 years trying to create that. So that's who I am. I also am a former NWSL goalkeeper coach. So there's me with Abby Smith, if you guys know her, who's at the Denver Summit now. So yeah, 24 and 25, I was the Houston Dash goalkeeper coach. I also worked a little bit with the U.S. women's national team on the youth side. And then before that with the Houston Dynamo as a head of academy goalkeeping. So what is SETGK? I kind of alluded to it before, but SETGK, the foundation of what SETGK is working towards being the most interconnected goalkeeper glove brand. So the idea, the thought is that the gloves are the vehicle to connect all of us. Okay, so Starting 11 has been fantastic in terms of building a partnership with us. We want to support the goalkeepers of Lexington and the surrounding areas, Louisville, Cincinnati, etc. Everybody out there that's in driving distance to this clinic, we want to support you guys. We also want to connect our community. We want to connect our goalkeeper coaches that we have awesome partnerships with the community as well, and try to transfer the knowledge that they have into the next generation of goalkeepers, again, with the glove being the vehicle to make it all kind of tick. So I'm not going to be with you on Sunday, sadly, but we do have a fantastic staff with you that's going to be running the show on Sunday. So Lou, if you're on still, if you want to jump on, unmute yourself and just give a quick little introduction of who you are and what you're looking forward to on Sunday.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. Sorry for anyone. I've got crazy kids in the background. So my name is Lou Libertor. I am the former head of goalkeeping at Kings Hammer and former national goalkeeper director. I just took a new role with the club, more focused on director education. And then I have bounced around all levels, Division 1, 2, 3, the women's pro game with Orlando Pride, ECNL, GA, MLS, you name it. I've been there, had a cup of coffee, and I'm just looking forward to selfishly getting to hang out with a bunch of my friends who are coaching this event, and then also see a bunch of young goalkeepers that I've been fortunate to work with, but also meet a bunch of young, hungry goalkeepers as well. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Amazing, Lou. Appreciate that, brother. If I have any other goalkeeper coaches on the call, I know I saw Garrett before, but if anybody else that is attending is here, would love it if you guys jumped on and introduced yourself as well. So give you guys a few seconds to figure out who might introduce themselves next.
Hi, everyone. My name is Garrett Lohr. I'm the current head of goalkeeping at Kings Hammer. Work very closely with Lou. He brought me into Cincinnati. Similar to what Coach was saying, I've been in a few different positions. I've worked in USL. I've worked in Division 1, 2 NAIA, men's and women's, and now coming up on just over a year and a half at Kings Hammer in Cincinnati. So looking forward to seeing a lot of goalies I already work with, and like we said, meeting new goalkeepers and just spreading the game through the brand of SETGK.
Amazing, guys. Appreciate it. Do I have anybody else? I don't know if anybody else has jumped on. I can't see who's currently in right now, but
yeah, I'm here. Ryan Troutman with
what's
Louisville
up, dude?
City FC. It's my third season with the team. Played at University of Kentucky and University of Louisville before that, 2 top 10 programs in the country. So excited to come down. I love working with young goalkeepers, and I was in their shoes a few years ago, so I get it, and excited to have the opportunity to work with them.
Amazing, Ryan. Thanks for jumping on, brother. Appreciate it. Anybody else? No? Okay, so guys, to say that you're working with a qualified staff of goalkeeper coaches would be an understatement right there. Okay, just across those 3, and there's many more that are going to be jumping on, that are going to be with us on Sunday, but a wealth of knowledge. So be open to learning when they're coaching you. Listen, eye contact, body language, massively important, and just squeeze everything you can out of this clinic. Okay, all right, let's get into it. So what is Starting 11? So Starting 11 is our retail partner in Lexington, Kentucky. So if you guys need boots, jerseys, gloves, whatever it is, in the top left there at Masterson Station Park, that's where the clinic is going to be. And then in the bottom right there, the other red pin, that's where Starting 11 is. Okay, so it's just a short drive away, 19 minutes away, 24 minutes away, whatever it looks like. So if you guys need any of what I just mentioned, anything soccer related, please head in there and go support a local soccer shop. All right, so let's get into the cutbacks webinar. Let's start learning about how we're going to defend cutbacks, what cutbacks are. Okay, so this is my pitch geography. This is what we refer to when we're talking about different topics on the field. So that big red square right there, we do not want the ball to go in there. That big red square is where goals are scored most commonly. Okay, so the orange squares there at the bottom that are bracketed with the blue lines, that is where we refer to as defending cutbacks. So the ball is deeper than the 6-yard box, it's inside the 18, and the ball is being cut back from the end line or from that zone and then backwards in front of the goal for then an attacker to run onto and shoot inside the goal. Okay, so it's a very dangerous situation where many goals in the pro game and just the game in general come from across soccer. So making sure that we give an entire clinic to it, or our devotion to making sure we know how to deal with this situation, super important. So this clip is going to demonstrate kind of what we just talked through, right? So the pitch geography, you're going to see a cutback in this situation, players running down the left side of the field. There's a lot of different variables at play, but we're going to watch it through. This is kind of that pitch geography coming to life in a live video clip. This is Columbus Crew versus FC Cincinnati a couple weeks ago. So as we're watching this clip, I just want you to think about, why am I showing you this clip in particular? What do you think I'm seeing from the goalkeeper here? Why is this relevant? What are some of the variables at play? Just thinking about, this is the moment that we're looking at, really close to that 6-yard line there. And then the ball's cut back, and then obviously it turns into a save. We're going to watch it one more time as you guys ponder, why am I showing you this clip? What are the variables at play? How are we going to make sure that we deal with them as successfully as this goalkeeper did? Just going to draw your eyes to a couple different things here. So we're just going to pause this real quick. Just going to draw your eyes really quick. Okay, so from this position, us as goalkeepers, we need to be in a position when this ball is played where if the ball is shot on frame, that we're going to defend the goal, right? Of course, we cannot sacrifice the goal at any point. We also need to be in a position where if that ball is played beyond our back line, so number 19 here, if we can see that, if that ball is played beyond our back line, depending on the ball speed and the location of the ball, are we going to then come engage? Are we going to turn and set depending on how much time we have? Or if that ball is pulled back away from us, are we efficient in our movement? How far are we from the middle of the goal, et cetera? Are our feet then back in the ground so that we can dive back the other direction? Okay, so watch that through here. Great save. So one of the things that I love about what this goalkeeper does is right before this ball is hit, I like to call it 50-50. So he's moved from right to left here, turned in. There's 50% of his weight on his left leg, 50% of his weight on his right leg. And what that turns into is he was able to dive and push towards the ball. Okay, really, really important that we are set before the ball is hit on Sunday. All right, so what do you guys think the goalkeeper was thinking about before this save? I just gave you guys a ton of ideas. I would love it now if you guys go in the chat box. I'm going to give you guys a minute to 2 minutes right now. All right, I'm going to start the clock. What was the goalkeeper? What do you think the goalkeeper is thinking about before this save? What are some of the variables you think he saw? And after 60 seconds, 120 seconds, something like that, I'm going to allow you guys to press send and then send your answers into the chat. And then we're going to read a couple out loud. Okay, so clock's going to start now. Your guys' turn to show us what you know. And while we're doing that, I'm just going to let some people in if there's anybody in the waiting room. You know, and coaches, if you want to throw in what you think too, you don't have to, but you can. All right, if you're just joining us right now, we are all sharing our thoughts on a video clip that we just watched, which you're not going to be able to comment on unless I show it again. So I'm going to go ahead and show it again. We still got a few seconds left here. So what do we think that this goalkeeper is thinking about before he makes this save? Variables at play, different things that he's considering. Give you guys 30 more seconds, and then we will go and send our thoughts. See another angle here as well. All right, you guys, time. You guys can go ahead and press send for your answers. What do we think that goalkeeper was thinking about before this save was made? Go ahead and press send. All right. Lou, do we have some responses coming through? Anybody? Garrett?
Yes, we do.
We do. All right. Can you pick one at random and read maybe one you like?
Yeah, I like from Cali, balance overall, so it can go either direction since shooter is in front of, I'm assuming that means goal.
Okay, so what I got from that was balanced and prepared to go in either direction. Yeah?
Correct.
Absolutely. So I think this is a great demonstration here. Notice the set position as well, right? I say often nose over toes. His nose is over his toes. That's what that means. So that he's balanced, yeah, and ready to go in either direction, which is a great reflection. Lou, any others that you feel particularly inclined to read?
I like this one. I don't know if we know what Roman's thinking, but he was watching the striker's hip movement to give him a better idea of what direction the striker is sending the ball.
Yeah, I think, trying to use all the context at play is important. That being said, does Roman know where the ball is being played before the ball is hit? No, he doesn't. He has some idea, maybe even some scouts, some information, some past history, but ultimately he doesn't have the answer exactly where this ball is going to go. You don't know if this ball is going to deflect. You don't know if it's going to hit off the side of the foot. You don't know if he's going to change his mind at the last second, et cetera, et cetera. He does know here that there's probably a window between this player and this player where we can shoot in between, but who knows if he can get this ball around this player and inside the goal. Hard to say, right? So regardless, I think it's great to use all of the context, right? The players, the pressure on the ball, where the ball is in relation to that player's hips, et cetera, et cetera. Ultimately, on Sunday, and you can all write this down, we would love to see you be reactive. We do not want to see you guys guessing early as if you know where the ball is going before it's hit. Okay, respond to the ball. Massively important piece to defending close range reaction saves, like cutback situations. Great. All right, moving on. All right. So some terminology here. So goal number one, as we talk about a hierarchy, a level of importance. When we say goal number one, we're referring to the goal itself. Okay, we never sacrifice goal number one. The second piece here, as we're defending cutbacks, is now when the ball goes into that side of the box where it's between the 6-yard box and the edge of the box. Okay, we're talking about what we call goal number two. So goal number two, if you guys want to write this down in your notebook, goal number two is from the near post to the top of the 6, roughly. Basically, after we have goal number one defended, like Roman did in that clip, can you then defend from the near post to the top of the 6-yard box and make sure if the ball's played behind your back line or between you and your defenders that you can defend that space, okay? We want to defend goal number two, but we don't defend goal number two at a sacrifice of defending goal number one. We must always defend goal number one, okay? We can't have a shooter where the ball is, just pass the ball in the goal because we are so high trying to defend goal number two. Defend both. Defend goal number one, defend goal number two, but do not sacrifice the goal to defend the top of the 6, okay? Really important. Get that down in your notebooks if you've not heard that before. And if you have heard it before, write it down again. All right. So based on that video clip that we watched before and some of the conversations we've had, what are some of the variables? And I want you guys, again, you're going into the chat box again. You're going to have 60 to 120 seconds here. What are some of the variables at play as we're defending cutbacks? What are some of the things that we are going to consider as we are trying to defend this moment of the game? Okay, so I'm going to give you one example, and then I'll give you guys 60 seconds to 120 seconds, somewhere between a minute and two, for you guys to think of some other variables. Okay, so one of my variables that I'm going to give as an example for you guys is the speed of the ball. Okay, so the speed of the ball, what I mean by that is how fast the ball is being cut back. Okay, is the ball being played across the box really slowly? Does that mean I might engage? Or is the ball being played across the box really, really fast? And that means I really only have the time to turn and set my feet to respond and save, kind of like what we saw Roman do there. Okay, so in the chat box, okay, you guys have 60 seconds starting now. 60 seconds to tell us all the variables that you guys are considering while we're defending these moments. And then after that time period, we will go ahead and press send and we'll read some out loud. We'll go 15 more seconds. All right, guys, hit send. Hit send when you're ready. And then Lou, I'm throwing it back to you. We could read some of, not necessarily read. Why don't you just call on somebody and have them elaborate? So you guys can now, when Lou calls on you and Coach Lou calls on you, I want you guys to elaborate more on the point that you made. Go deeper on whatever the variable is that you're talking about.
All right, Ethan, let's hear from you.
All right, Ethan, stage is yours, man.
The position of the player is offense and defense.
Ooh, I love that. Can you tell me more about it?
Where they're set, like where their body is.
How would you know where the attackers and your defenders are?
By the position that they're at.
Yeah, well, you would have to use a word. So if you guys have not heard this word before, hopefully you have. You'd have to scan, right? So you'd have to look away from the ball to then identify where are the threats in the box and where are your defenders in relation to them, right, Ethan?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ethan, I want you to think about when might you do that? When might you look away from the ball to figure out where the attackers and where your defenders are? When are you going to do that?
When they're not in their shooting form.
Yeah, when they don't have the ability to shoot or cut the ball back, that is when you would scan. Okay, some people can use and are really good at it and can use their periphery, so the side of their eye, so they don't have to turn their head the whole way. Some people, depending on where the runners are in the box, you might have to turn your whole body, right? But the timing of that scan to assess the threats in the box and your defenders, really, really important. So I love that point, Ethan. Lou, can we call on another one?
Let's hear from Aiden.
All right, Aiden. Let's hear it, buddy.
I said the amount of people in the box that can be crossed to, because even if there's a defender for everyone, they can have like the opportunity to shoot if they get crossed the ball, and that's multiple danger points in the box at a time.
Great. Okay, so Aiden, as the numbers in the box increase or decrease, how is that going to affect what you do?
Well, if the numbers of attackers in the box increase, I may not have enough defenders to get to all of them as quickly as time, so that leaves someone open to shoot, so maybe I'll focus more on him as the main shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have less people, then I know, oh, my defenders can cover it, so I can pay more attention to the ball in front of me that's being crossed to or going to take a shot to lead to most likely.
Cool. I love it. Great stuff, Aiden. I'm gonna start sharing a little bit more now. So here's some of the variables that I've written down. If you guys can think of any others, by all means, toss them in there and we can talk them through. So the position of the ball. Where's the ball on the field, right? Is it really close to the edge of the end line? Is it really close to the edge of the six? Is it further away from you? Something you might want to write down: as the ball gets further away from you, your time is going to increase. So as you get further away from the ball, we want you to get closer to the middle of the goal. As the ball gets closer to you, we want you to get closer to the ball, okay? Now, if the ball is at the end line and it's being cut back, we want you standing in the frame of the goal still, right? We don't want you guys outside the frame of the goal, because then if the ball gets cut back, then we're not in the goal, okay? Important. We'll watch some video clips on it so we can have a deeper understanding. Okay, threats in the box, like many of you mentioned, okay? The attackers, their intentions, how many are there, where are they positioned? Massively important, okay? If there's maybe only one attacker in the box, but there's no defender, hypothetically, we might think of being a little bit more aggressive, right? Because we know there's some clarity there. If we are numbers even, but it's 4v4 in the box and the ball's cut back, well, there's a lot more traffic in there. A lot more traffic means the chance that the ball is going to deflect is going up, right? When the ball deflects, we lose time. So we might, if there's more traffic and the ball's being cut back to the top of the 18, we might want to maybe position ourselves a little bit deeper so we can gain some time, considering that the ball may deflect. Okay, a lot of different variables at play there. Okay, my teammates in the box. So those two are connected. The speed and the direction of the ball. Okay, so if this ball is played really slow across the six, Are we going to go engage? Are we going to go take the ball? Is it maybe going to turn into something that looks similar to a 1v1? What about the direction of the ball? Is the ball going away from you? Is the ball going behind your back line, right? Or even the speed and direction before the cutback is played, right? If the ball is being played really far away from the player who ultimately cuts the ball back, maybe their ability to play the cutback is going to be challenged because they don't really have control of the ball. So all of these things at play are really, really important, okay? Your own individual qualities. Everybody, if you have not written that piece down before, please, everyone, right now, variables, my individual qualities, okay? Your own individual qualities are paramount. Maybe that should have been the first variable if I was reflecting on this presentation. You write down my individual qualities. And how that is relevant is because I know you can't see this because I'm sitting down right now, but I'm 6 feet 6 inches tall, okay? I'm very, very tall, which is great. I can cover a lot of space. I would be blown away if that meant for most people that they could move faster, right? Taller, bigger, harder to move quickly, right? So I can close down space. Yeah, I can cover a lot of space, but it's hard for maybe me to move from A to B, from moving from one side of the goal to the other side of the goal. Maybe it's really easy for me to cover the space above my head, but getting down to the floor, maybe I'm going to have to use my feet a little bit more, and maybe it's a kick save, or maybe I got to think a little bit deeper about how I position myself so I can get my hands to the ball when it's close and the ball is hit low and hard, right? So I want you guys to think about how your individual qualities connects to every different area of how we defend cutbacks and then the game in general, right? We want to put you guys in positions where your qualities allow you to be successful. We don't want you to copy and paste other people. Okay, we want you to be uniquely you because no one's you. And that's what makes you guys special. All right, so what variable do you guys notice in this next clip? So we're going to watch a clip, okay? And then I want you guys to think about what is the variable that you notice the most. So as we're watching this, what's the variable that you guys notice the most? What do you think is the biggest dynamic at play? Is it the speed of the ball played across? Is the direction the ball is going? Is it the numbers in the box? Is it the position of the goalkeeper and his qualities? What is it? And instead of giving you guys 60 seconds, I would love it if somebody could unmute themselves and tell us what they notice. What are the variables at play, or what is one variable at play that you notice in this clip?
The positioning of the goalkeeper.
Can you introduce yourself? Because I can't see your name right now. It just says
I'm Aiden.
Okay, Aiden, so tell me more about the position of the goalkeeper and why you think that's important here.
Well, the position of the goalkeeper, where he saw the attack was coming and he knew he was going to go to the baseline and try to cut it back, because he probably glared back and saw that one person running, so he positioned more up front to the near post to cut off that cutback so he could dive and meet the ball.
Yeah, so if you look at just like the numbers in the box right now, if we're the defending team, we're up right now. Technically, there's 3 of us, 3 white jerseys in the box, and there are 2 attackers in the box. But we know, we can all see this play evolving, that this player is going to be very dangerous here. So one of the things that I noticed, yes, the position is fantastic. I think the position is very good because it puts him in a spot where he can not only defend the near post if the ball is smashed to the near post, but also as that ball is being played across, he can go impact the ball. It does get a little bit spicy there as he goes wide with his hands and doesn't protect his face too much. But, you know, at times, you know, you win some, you lose some. You gotta take the good with the bad, right? But one of the things that I notice here from this goalkeeper is the individual qualities, right? So he's positioned himself in a way that if this ball is played across, that if he dives, full extension here, that he's going to be able to impact this ball. Now, the individual quality that I want you guys to take account of is the personality of this goalkeeper. So everybody write down my personality. My personality is going to inform a lot of my decisions. Now, the type of mistakes and the type of decisions we want you guys to make are aggressive ones. If you guys are going to get it wrong in air quotes, whatever wrong means, we would rather you do that in an aggressive fashion. Impose yourself on the game. Will your team to win the game, okay, through being physically imposing, but do that tactically. Do that from a good position. Do that because it's necessary, right? So this goalkeeper here puts himself in a really good position where he can defend the goal. and defend the 6, right? Can defend goal number 2 and makes a very aggressive decision. So yes, it gets spicy. Hopefully that doesn't happen for anybody in here, but this is part of the game, right? So protect your face. The only guidance I'd probably give him there is maybe go a little bit more narrow with his hands and protect his face. But I think this is an exceptional moment that changes the game for the team. All right. So describe the speed and the position of the ball when this ball is cut back. Okay. Describe the speed and position of the ball. All right. Somebody, some brave soul, unmute yourself, describe the speed and the position of the ball, and then any other variables that you notice.
The speed of the ball, it was like, it was a good cross when it was in and it had decent speed, but when he hit it, it bounced off the ground and lost most of its speed. And it was also in the middle, so it could have gone either way.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of good context in there. I want you to think about the speed on this pass, okay? The speed of the ball being cut back is going to dictate how much time we have to adjust our position. So when this ball moves, that's the time that we have to then move as well, right? So if this ball is played really slow and it takes a while to get there, we obviously have more time to move, right? We'd all agree on that. If the ball is played really fast, which played pretty fast, right? That dictates how much time we have to then move. More than anything, we want you guys in this moment to be set. Okay, so write down, be set. Before the ball is hit, we are set. All right. Now we talked before about, okay, if it's 2v1 in the box, or it's 1v1, or it's just us and an attacker in the box, how that changes maybe some of our decisions. But here we see, as the traffic and the numbers in the box increase, also the chances for the ball to deflect increase. So being 50-50, neutral and balanced and set before the ball hits allows us to have a better chance to then respond and react to the ball, right? So the speed and the direction of the ball is going away from goal, okay? Going away from goal, but it's going in between us and our defenders, right? So traffic's increasing, maybe our visibility to the balls is decreasing, which would then lend its hand to, I'm probably going to be a little bit deeper, so I have more time to react to the ball. If he was standing really close to his defenders here, when the ball hits off a defender, again, more difficult to then respond to it. So in every cutback situation on Sunday, you guys are going to write down, I will assess the speed and the direction of the ball. And then there's a little bit more that goes into that, which would be, that will help you decide, am I just going to turn and set? Am I going to go and be aggressive and try to cut the ball out, right? Am I going to go deeper? Am I going to go higher in relation to how much traffic there is or where the shot is coming from, etc. Okay? So assess the speed and the direction of the ball in every cutback situation. All right. Now I want to hear more from you guys. What would you do differently in this clip? So now from everything that we've kind of talked about here, I want to know what you guys would do differently in this moment, okay? What would you do differently here? We'll watch it a few times. And I want to hear from somebody different this time, because I'm going to ask you guys to unmute yourself and share the information about what you would personally do differently here. But I want to hear from somebody I haven't already heard from. And when you do so, I would love it if you could introduce yourself so we all could learn your name, and then we'll go from there. Okay? So whoever is going to be the courageous person and the brave person, share their ideas. There are no wrong answers, right? Just gets us closer to the answer. What would you do differently in this situation? Well, somebody's got to rip the Band-Aid off for us. Oh no. What would you do differently?
This is Callie, and I kind of think that he should have definitely scanned to check the other players behind him.
Absolutely. Thank you, Callie. I love that thought. So we need to be aware of where the runners in the box are. Absolutely. Do you think, Callie, if he had taken a peek to where the runners are in the box, he would have changed his position maybe?
I think that after he would have been more ready to change his position, and yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it, Callie. Great input. Fantastic. Okay. The other thing that I want you guys to draw your attention to is the direction of this ball. So remember when we said, where is this ball in relation to the player that's cutting the ball back? This ball is traveling away from goal, if you can see that, right? The ball is moving away from goal. So if the ball is moving away from where you want to play the ball to, and you're on the opposite side of it, so this attacker is kind of where my mouse is here, and he wants to play the ball over here, right? It's going to be difficult for him to get a lot of power on the ball, which would then tell you guys the ball might go in the air, right? And it might potentially go over you because he's going to have a difficult time trying to impact the goal from shooting the ball in this direction, right? So if we're going to write down one note here, it's as the ball moves away from us, we're going to move closer to the middle of the goal. So this ball is still in a cutback spot, right? Still has the ability to be cut back on the floor or chipped like you see here, right? As this ball is moving away from us, as you can see here, I would advise this goalkeeper to just take a step or two back. And then you might say, well, we have this player here. And I don't want you to ignore that player, right? I want you to put yourself in a position where you can do both, where you can control the goal if they are to shoot, okay? Not really much of a danger right now. Where you could also, if that ball is played along the ground in here, where you could potentially step forward. But then, like Callie said, if you're aware of these players at the back post and that ball is played over you, that you're still in the goal. If we notice here, when that ball is played, when that ball is played, you got a long way to go, really far from being inside the goal. And there's a lot of goal to defend, okay? So putting yourself in an optimal position, in a position where you can defend the goal and defend the area, massively, massively important to being successful in cutback situations. All right. So when should you leave the goal in a cutback? Before we watch the video, I'm curious if you guys have any ideas now. So before we watch the video, when should you leave the goal in a cutback situation? When might you run out and go towards the ball when the ball is being cut back? What do you guys think?
When they're really close to the goal post and on the line.
Okay, so as they get closer to you, you might leave the goal?
Yeah, to go challenge for the ball.
Okay. I'm gonna take that even one step further. I think that you guys should leave the goal if you can impact the ball. If you cannot impact the ball, then we defend the goal, we defend the area if the ball is cut back. But I only want you guys to run out of the goal if you know that you can impact the ball. Okay. Now there's going to be times when it is a maybe, right? When you're not necessarily completely sure that you can impact the ball. And if it is a maybe, and you're a young goalkeeper out there, I want you to test your range. So I want that maybe to be a yes. If it's a no in your heart, then I want you to stay in the goal, defend the goal, and then defend the cutback. But if in your heart you think this is a maybe I could go impact the ball, I want you to be aggressive, and then we will teach you and we will coach you through that aggressive decision. Okay? So this clip is going to show you what an aggressive decision looks like. And you'll see as well, it's a very good demonstration of if you can impact the ball, please leave the goal. By all means, go impact the ball. And if you wind it back here, I'm going to pause it so we can all see this. If you look at it in relation to where the rest of the cutbacks have been coming from, so we saw one that came from over here where my mouse is. We saw one that was over here. We saw one that was over here, right? This ball is right in that same area. The difference is the direction of the ball speed, how far the attacker is from this ball, and ultimately, can you as the goalkeeper go and impact the ball? If you guys were to stay in the goal in this situation, let's think about this. Maybe we run into a similar situation. If you stay in the goal and that ball is played across the goal, you might be in a really difficult situation as this person then runs onto it and then is shooting with no defender in front of them and 12 yards from the goal, potentially. Okay, so think about that. I will leave the goal in a cutback situation if I can impact the ball. If you can't impact the ball, we stay in the goal. We stay in the goal and we defend the goal. Okay, so these are the variables. If you haven't already written them down, we're going to be talking about these variables on Sunday. Okay, so Coach Lou Garrett, the whole coaching staff, Coach Ryan, everybody. We're going to be talking about where's the ball in relation to you? What are the threats in the box? Where are my teammates in the box? The speed and the direction of the ball, and then you as individuals, okay? Trying to put yourself in a position to make your individual qualities come to life. Massively important, okay? So these are some of the variables. If you've not written these variables down, write them down. I am going to send out the recording so you have a chance to watch it through. But I always like to write things down a second time so that they really hold in my brain as I physically do it. Okay, so key focuses that kind of branch off of that I've mentioned. Okay, we want you to be in an optimal position. An optimal position is a position where you can defend the goal and defend the cutback. Okay, if you're hugging the post and you can only defend the goal and you can't defend goal number 2, I would be questioning whether you're in the best position possible. Okay, now regardless, when that ball is being hit or when it's being cut back, you must be set. Okay, from there, the types of decisions we want you to make are aggressive ones. If it's a maybe and you're unsure whether you can impact the ball, we want you to test your range, okay? The goalkeeper standing next to you is not competing for a spot right now, okay? This is a SETGK starting 11 clinic, and the only thing we're doing is here to get better and grow our goalkeeping abilities and the goalkeeper community in general, okay? So work hard, all right, and try your best. Test your range, make those aggressive mistakes, and the coaches are there to help you through those mistakes. But if we're making conservative mistakes and we're just standing and we don't want to make that decision to go put ourselves out there, it'll be harder to coach because there'll be less decisions to coach from. Yeah. Okay. Every cutback, you're assessing the ball speed. Okay. Is this ball slow? Can I go impact it? Is there traffic relative to how much speed there is? Right? Is the ball hit really fast? Do I only have the time to turn in or move my feet quickly and then set? And so on and so forth. Every time we assess the ball speed. The last thing here is be an optimist. An optimist is someone who believes that good things are to come, okay? So be an optimist. There's going to be times on Sunday where you're going to feel behind the play, where the ball is going to be cut back, it's going to go past that near post space, and you have a decision to make. Are you going to stop and go, oh, this ball's in the back post space and I'm already behind it? Or are you going to sprint across the goal and give every ounce of yourself to keep the ball out of the net, okay? Giving every ounce of yourself and believing that you can make the save is what the position requires, okay? So please be an optimist. If you've not heard that word before, write it down, Google it, learn that definition, expect good things, stay in the play, believe that you can, okay? That's a starting point for everybody. All right, keeping it moving. So are there any questions, anything that you guys want to have answered that we haven't already answered, questions about Sunday that we haven't talked about? There is more information to come after this slide, but if there's anything relative to cutbacks specifically that you want to have answered, now would be the time to ask that question. Okay, so I'll give you guys like 30 seconds for you to decide if you want to branch out and ask a question. You can ask a question to anybody. It doesn't have to be me. It could be Coach Lou, anybody. And that's okay. Okay, if you don't have any questions right now, that means, man, this presentation was fantastic. We learned a lot of stuff. Or maybe you're still thinking about those questions, but make sure on Sunday you're coming with a question and you're getting those questions answered. And then if questions arise while you're on the field, that's what your coaches are there for. Okay, so lean into them, learn from them, ask the question. All you have is the time. Okay, so ask the question while you have the time. After the event, okay, you're not going to be on the field with them again. Maybe you will if they're your home goalkeeper coach, that's possible, but it's probable that you probably won't be on the field with them anytime soon, focused specifically on cutbacks. So if you have questions, please ask them. Write this down in your notebook, okay? Who do you want to be in training and how should we remember you? So before Sunday, I want you to write down in that notebook, how do I want to be remembered? When we leave that training session, when we leave the clinic, the coaches are going to come around, they're going to go, so what do we think? You know, who impressed you? What do you guys think of the goalkeepers? You want to be somebody that we go, you know what? That person was really brave in their decisions. This person was really aggressive. You know, I loved how much focus this person gave, how much they impacted the group. Think about who you want to be in training. Think about who you want to be. How should we remember you? And then go be that person on Sunday. Impact the group positively. Okay? All right.
I have a question.
Yeah, I would love it.
Question and a statement.
Okay.
Which which field at Masterson Station we're going to be on?
We will communicate that here shortly. Clay with starting 11 is having a conversation with the board members at the park, and we will communicate the field number to you later this week.
Okay, that's
Cool.
fine. We came from LSC up to Kings Hammer. We moved. Clay and starting 11 is an amazing place. We were there when they first came in, and they are great people. They've got a great selection. They've got European selections that you can't get anywhere else. They are amazing.
Yeah, starting 11 is fantastic. Super appreciative for the relationship there, and I appreciate you bringing that up. So awesome. Okay, so also, guys, like I said, bring one question with you for Sunday that you can get answered, whether that's in the pre-training discussion, post-training breakdown, or live with your goalkeeper coaches while you're training, okay? All right, so between now and then and after the event, if you guys need me, my phone number is here. This is my email address, eric@SETGK.com. Try to make that super simple for you. If you need me, please reach out. As I mentioned before, I'm sadly not going to be with you on Sunday, but we have an amazing coaching staff and partners out there in Lexington that are going to be guiding you guys through the clinic. Oh, no. Sorry. I clicked on my own email. All right. So the next piece of continuing education is the SETGK Pro experience. Okay. The SETGK Pro experience, this is a quick snippet of the SETGK Pro experience where that's me, as you can see here, connecting and coaching our attendees at the last event. We have our pro goalkeepers training here in the background, and you guys will have the ability to then learn from them as they are training and then work with them individually straight after that. It's the most immersive goalkeeper training week that I could think of, where we connect our pros, our pro coaches, and our goalkeepers of our community all together. And that's in Panama City Beach, December 14th to the 18th. The SETGK Pro experience is what we call it. And if you guys like this kind of thing, if you like a webinar that coaches you about the position, if you like being on field with a diverse group of goalkeeper coaches, then you would love the SETGK Pro experience, where we do it for a week long. Okay. So let me know if you guys are interested in that kind of thing. If you are looking for goalkeeper specific college recruitment, SETGK Pathways is where you can find that. Again, you can just shoot me a text, send me an email, and we'll get you going in the right direction. Okay. Here's the schedule for Sunday. Okay. So arrival and check-in, 4:45 p.m. Please be there early. As you arrive, make sure you check in at the table and they know that you are here. Okay. After that, please introduce yourself to the goalkeeper coaches. Okay. Make an impression. You can only make one first impression. Make sure that first impression is a good one. Make sure you are prepared. You have your boots on, your goalkeeper gloves with you. You've brought water, and you're ready to train. Okay. At 5, we're going to have opening remarks from Coach Lou and from Clay at starting 11. They're going to introduce the camp. We're going to talk a little bit about glove sizing and fitting. Clay is going to be on site with starting 11 with SETGK gloves for you guys to try on and buy if you'd like. And that's all going to happen between 4:45 and 5 p.m. Now, you also will have the ability to buy gloves throughout the time if your parents want to do so, or after the session as well. Okay. At 5:10, Coach Lou Liberatore is going to put us through a live demonstration of defending cutbacks. So we are going to select 3 or 4 of you guys to work live in front of the entire camp, all parents, coaches, all the attendees. 3 or 4 of you are going to demonstrate live defending cutbacks, and Coach Lou is going to coach you through that, so you all get to watch it. So we're trying to support different learners here. Okay, so we have the video beforehand, we have the live demo in person, and then we have the on-field coaching as well. So hopefully with all of these different points of contact, your speed of learning is going faster and faster, and we're helping you guys improve to the best of our abilities. At 5:15, we're going to start the first phase of defending cutbacks. At 5:15, the first phase will be heavy on the technical and the tactical foundations of cutbacks. So expect high repetition, expect a lot of success, expect it to challenge you, but it's a little bit less live. It's a little bit less gamified. It's more about the foundations of cutbacks. Okay, that's going to happen for an hour. After that hour at 6:15, you guys are going to grab some water. Okay, you're going to rest for a few minutes, and then you're all going to bring it into Coach Lou. Coach Lou is then going to coach you on what he sees, how we're doing relative to the key focuses, thinking about the variables, and what he's been seeing throughout the first hour of the training session. At 6:30 then, probably somewhere between 6:20, 6:25, 6:30 in that time window, okay, the goalkeeper coaches will be tightening up and reorganizing their sessions. And then at 6:30, we're doing live defending cutbacks. So think about live defending cutbacks as very scenario based. Think about there being multiple options instead of maybe one or two. It's a live and flowing game. Think about transition from attack to defense, where maybe you would catch the ball and then you transition to attack versus another goal, et cetera, et cetera. That would last from 6:30 to 7:30. Okay, so live defending cutbacks number 2 is going to go for that next hour, and then we are going to close the clinic at 7:30. Coach Lou is going to break us down. Okay, we're all going to regroup with Coach Lou and Clay. Okay, and then you guys will have another opportunity to buy gloves if you so choose, and then that will be our time together. So I know I just rambled on for a while there, but I thank you guys for your attention and being on this clinic. If you are being on this webinar, and if you're not here, again, like I said, we'll send out this webinar. Come prepared with some of the things that I mentioned there earlier in this meeting. And then if you have any questions, please reach out, and we're excited to be with you on Sunday. And with that, thank you guys. You guys are free to go. Appreciate you. And see you later. Have a great night.